As the lights fade on September the 13th of December 2025, arguably one of the greatest sports entertainers of all time, John Cena will hang up his jorts and his sweatbands for one final time. But how did we get here? And has this final run been as magic as we'd all hoped? Let's look at the highs and lows of John Cena's farewell tour. To start this off, we need to go back to the 6th of July 2024 in the Scottsdale Arena, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Here, Cena would make a surprise appearance and deliver an emotional speech confirming that he would retire after a farewell tour, with his final matches scheduled through 2025. He would tell fans, "Tonight, I am officially announcing my retirement from WWE." Throughout the rest of 2024, he would make sporadic appearances, helping to build up the hype for his final year in 2025. On the 6th of January, at the start of the Netflix era, Cena, wearing his new farewell tour merchandise, came out to praise the WWE on his historic Netflix debut. He went on to declare that he had one final opportunity to headline WrestleMania. His first chance at this would be the 2025 Royal Rumble, which he declared his entrance into. It was a passionate promo, and he reflected on his recent run saying, "You only get what you earn in WWE, and I haven't won a match in 2,466 days." As we headed towards WrestleMania season, the Royal Rumble took place from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana, on the 1st of February 2025. There was a lot of chatter online that Cena would win the Rumble and main event his final WrestleMania. With all the noise, it would be hard to remember that this would be John's 11th and final Rumble appearance. He eliminated Austin Theory and Damian Priest to take to his total of 25 eliminations. He would be in the final three with Logan Paul and Jey Uso. However, unlike in 2008 and 2013, Jey would eliminate Cena and win his first Rumble. Both John and Jey embraced as Jey was recognised as the winner. Cena came out, sat down, and in a surprise that caught many off guard, didn't take any questions, but instead made a statement. The statement said, "In the 23 years I've been in this business, I know there are different perspectives about my path, but what's best for business is that I win my 17th World Championship and main event WrestleMania." At the time, no one saw the foreshadowing in the statement, but looking back now, you could see the cracks starting to appear. John finished this off by declaring himself for the Elimination Chamber match in Toronto, Canada. While others had to qualify for the Chamber match, John was slotted straight into the match. With this being Cena's last chance of main eventing WrestleMania, there was high anticipation. Many, however, felt that CM Punk would win the match, and Cena would be relegated to a mid-card feud for his WrestleMania match. John was the last to be released from his pod, and he eliminated Seth Rollins with an AA. This left Punk and Cena as the last two in the ring. As they looked at each other, the crowd popped. However, with Rollins still in the ring, he attacked Punk and stomped him before leaving. Cena then jumped over to pin Punk to win the match. Cena was main eventing his final WrestleMania. As Cena celebrated his victory, Cody Rhodes came down to the ring. The two shook hands to celebrate John's victory and the fact that they would be facing each other at WrestleMania. John had been there when Cody had finally won his first world title, and as these two titans celebrated, The Rock's music played, and he and Travis Scott made their way to the ring to confront Cody Rhodes. After weeks of a build-up between The Rock and Cody, it was time to move to the next stage of this feud. Rock wanted Cody to be his champion, a kind of a Hollywood champion that would open doors for both. Cody took a moment before telling the WWE Universe that he was their champion and The Rock could do one. Cena's face throughout was one of joy, and when Cody told The Rock to F you, John began to celebrate. However, As Cody and Cena embraced for a hug, the camera panned to The Rock, and he gave a cutthroat gesture to Cena, whose face had changed from a smile to a grimace. John let go of the hug and looked at Cody as he delivered a kick to Cody's balls. The shock on Cody's face was felt by all. Many have described it as the biggest and loudest shock pop of all time. Rock, Cena and Travis Scott would continue to beat down Cody, and John would say, "You thought I came back for nostalgia? I came back to take everything from you." This cemented John Cena's first heel turn in over 20 years. The world lost its mind. Videos popped up everywhere of children who threw down John Cena toys. And it wasn't just covered by the wrestling media, but also mainstream outlets like ESPN and Newsweek in the US. This wasn't a wrestling story, it was a big news globally. John Cena is a Hollywood actor, but somehow this took him further up the ladder. At the press conference after the event, John came out and sat at the table. He picked up a microphone, looked around at the journalists, and then dropped the mic back on the table and got up and left. He said no words, however his actions spoke loudly. This wasn't going to be a passionate response from him, as we'd seen before. This was a new character. One that dripped arrogance and disdain for all. Some described this moment as surreal and industry shaking. This was something the fans had wanted for years, but was it going to live up to expectations? As the build-up to WrestleMania continued, John Cena would appear on every Raw, from the European tour all the way through to WrestleMania. This included some appearances on SmackDown. But he needed to build up some heat, and the way he did this was through promos. At Brussels, Belgium, the crowd would boo him and chant, "Cena sucks," and "You sold out." It was here in Brussels that Cena would utter the words, "For 25 years, I've been the victim of an abusive relationship." He would follow this up. "All you do is be hurtful. All you are is abusive. And all you've ever done is bully me into being your damn puppet. Expect me to do this with a smile on my face. No more!" The promo was delivered with venom and passion throughout, and it lasted 15 minutes. But it'll always be remembered for the fact that he berated the crowd, including those that had chanted his name, and with it he explained why he wasn't changing his wrestling gear or his music, and this was followed up by a verbal attack of a child in the front row. He'd left no one alone, and he finished the promo with, "I'm breaking up with you. I'm done. I'm breaking up with every single person. Whether you like me or you don't, you're dumped. I don't need you anymore. I don't care about you, and you don't matter to me." As expected, this led to Cody Rhodes coming down to confront Cena. Cody made sure that this version of Cena wasn't the guy he wanted to face at WrestleMania, and he made sure that Cena knew this. As the European show continued, Cena and Cody would exchange verbal barbs throughout, and only once would the words lead to a physical altercation. This took place in London, England, after Cena had said this, "I'm not going to cook you, I'm going to bury you, just like I bury everyone else." They've been saying this for years, but John Cena buries talent. I don't bury talent. I am talent. I bury mediocrity. You've manipulated your way to the top of this business, and your ego outmatches your ability. All you have done is ride the coattails of my success. I have been so great that the WWE can hand the heartbeat of this organisation to my chauffeur. You have shown me one thing, and that one thing you have shown me, that someone so mediocre could wear something meaningful nowadays, is enough to trick these people. Cody's response to John was simple. "In all the time I have been here, and all that I have been through, never once has an audience ever chanted, 'You can't wrestle.'" This promo lit a fire under both superstars and helped push their feud further. For the remaining build to their WrestleMania main event, both would use the mic to do the heavy lifting, with Cena telling Cody and the fans that he would ruin wrestling for the WWE Universe and take the WWE title home with him. As well as, "This is my farewell year, but I'm not leaving empty-handed. I will walk out the greatest of all time, the 17-time world champion. The match was set, the drama cracked up. The two of them would close night 2 of WrestleMania 41. The reception was mixed, with some arguing that the heel promos being cut meant that there was some unpredictability in the match. Fightful would say that it was historic but underdeveloped, with great shock factors but lacking in depth of the reason Cena joined The Rock. Many agreed with this sentiment, others saying it lacked emotional depth, and it felt like it was forced and unnatural. Whatever happened, fans were going to lose their minds, and most would still cheer him. With fans around the world looking forward to this match, it was pivotal to getting them ready. John Cena did this by changing his ring entrance. No, the music didn't change. However, the colourful video was now replaced with a black screen and his name at the centre. This took people out of their expectation, and again, no fanfare for John Cena's final match felt awkward. Maybe this is exactly what WWE were going for. If they were, they nailed it. Cody would follow with his excellent ring entrance, and we were ready to clash for two generational talents. As long as the match was good, it would go down in history. The only problem was, the match wasn't very good at all. In fact, it was one of the worst matches on the whole WrestleMania card. Many have criticised Cena in the late 2000s and the early 2010s for his wrestling style. However, you could get a great Cena performance with a good dance partner. And with Cody, he certainly had that. Cody had headlined the previous 2 WrestleManias and had had great matches to show that he was up to the job of carrying the match through. But for some reason, it just didn't click. Something wasn't right, and both have come out and said as much since. John worked well as a heel, taking rest breaks and commanding a slow pace. His arsenal included axe handles and side slams, but the pace was very deliberate. Signature moves were used by both wrestlers, but it felt slow. Cena managed to hit an AA from the second rope, but Cody kicked out. This led to fans believing that Cody could get the win. Cody cutters, STFUs and crossroads from the pair didn't get the job done. As Cody covered Cena from a previous ref bump, it meant that there was no pin count. This was then followed by an exposed turnbuckle shot from Cena to Cody, and an AA which should have meant that Cody was done for. However, as a need to protect Cody, he kicked out from the pinfall. As he kicked out, Travis Scott appeared at the entrance. The question was, where was The Rock? It took Scott a full 2 minutes to stroll to the ring. This killed any momentum for the match, as everyone now waited for Scott to do something. Scott's involvement was to pull the ref out after Cody hit Cena with another crossroads. This was a moment, however, that air had been taken out of fans, and only a small response was heard. Cody returned the receipt from Elimination Chamber and hit Scott with a crossroads. However, as Cody turned round, Cena had the title belt in his hands, and he attempted to hit Cody with it. Rhodes would then wrestle it off him, and Cody would look at Cena with the intent to hit him with the belt. However, he just couldn't bring himself to do it. And a low blow from Cena later meant that Cody dropped the belt, and Cena was none more happier than picking it up and swinging it at Cody. As the ref turned round, he was able to then count to 3, and Cena became a 17 times world champion. This took him to the top. As Cena and Travis Scott walked back up the ramp, fans were left wondering why The Rock was ever involved in this storyline. The critical response wasn't great, many saying it lacked emotion and chemistry. Dave Meltzer gave it 3/4 stars and said it was one of the worst WrestleMania main events ever. Cody himself later admitted the WrestleMania match was a lack of a match. John would later go into the press conference and sit down to answer questions. However, when a question was asked, he would refer to it as, "That's a clickbait question, I'm not going to answer that." In fact, he was asked many questions but did not answer a single one. He left, walking back to his dressing room as the 17-time world champion.